Hello there, Mike Henderson here again. Now, when we left off the last time, we were trying to figure out how to get this to, appear kind of in the middle. And the way you do that is you will display through the view, you will display the ruler on this page, and then there's this little thing right here that you move it around. So you can see what happens to my name, and you put it about the middle. And same thing down here. Now, a couple other things. Let's look at the indentation. You should have, for the most part, indentation of the paragraphs. But it's got to be something reasonable. This is a little bit radical. So I do select Control A. Whoops, let's go to the document, not the header. Control A. Format. Paragraph. Then here is first line. It's talking about the indentation of the first line. So I am going to make this about 1/4 of an inch. So it's 0.26 or whatever you want to make it. You can go in here and actually make it whatever number you want. Okay. And you see that the indentation on the whole document moves over, so it looks a lot better. It's a little bit less. And again, this is sort of a, just a visual thing. Take a look at books and see how they do it. It's just got to feel right and look right. Rather, it can't be too little. It can't be like 1 or 2 spaces indented, and it can't be, 10. Just do whatever you prefer. And now, there's another thing about typesetting, and again, it's not necessarily a rule. You're going to find books done 50 different ways to Sunday, but I like 2 things. First of all, I like the first chapter to start at the left flush rather than indented. So you're going to put your cursor there, you're going to do a backspace, and it goes over to the right. Now, you can leave it like that, and there are a lot of things you can do. So, for example, you can go here and you can highlight, you can select some of the text, and through this little uppercase icon, click on it, and you can make it uppercase, and that begins the chapter, and that adds a little bit of a flair to things. The other thing, which is even better, is the drop cap. Excuse me. Drop cap is where you see in a book there's a great big letter, and then the text kind of goes around it. So the big letter usually begins a chapter. You don't want to overdo it, but you want to add a little bit. It adds a little bit of pizzazz to it. It shows the reader that it wasn't just some monkey who slapped his hands on the keyboard and put this book together. So you're going to highlight this letter, and you're going to go to a format, paragraph, and then over here it says drop caps. Boom, you select drop caps, and comes up the drop cap page. We want to display drop caps, and in our case we just want the A, but you can increase the number of characters. So if you look at this, the second character is just a space, the third character is an M. Generally, you would do the first character only, unless there was a quote. And then there's a quotation mark here, and you want to include the quotation mark, so we would do 2. Lines, it's talking about vertically. So I have 3. Space to text, in other words, the space between the letter and the text is 0. I kind of like that. So let's say OK, and here you see what it does. Now, there's a space here, which all you've got to do is say delete. Whoops. I thought. Backspace. There we go. You backspace, and it goes away. So I'll zoom in on it. Whoops. And you will see what it looks like, I hope. And Jesus Christ. Okay, so here it is. And you can go up here and do with this little icon page preview, or over here file page preview, what the thing looks like. So here it is. You can zoom in on it a little bit. So you can see what it will look like if you were to print it out or do a PDF of it. So you can see that it adds a little pizzazz. We'll click on that. Then you can go to the format paragraph. Right? What's it look like? But do the down arrow and change the 3 to 2, or I suppose you can just enter the number. Okay. So it's still there. You print preview, just see what it looks like, and zoom in. You still have the cap, but instead of 3 lines, it's 2 lines. So, that is a matter of your personal preference. How many lines it goes, and whether you even use it in the first instance. I kind of like it. As I said, it adds a little pizzazz and shows that the thing was not, somebody paid attention to it. The other thing you can do. Oops. So we'll go to, here's the beginning of the chapter, chapter 1. And you can put this chapter 1 wherever you want. Right? You can actually, probably ought to be over here, a backspace. You can raise this up higher and put the beginning of the words down here. You do whatever you want. There's no rule. It's a matter of just trying to make it look nice. That's really what this is about. Now, let's go to the dividing line. Well, here's one. Okay, so I have this thing right here, so let's zoom in on that. Wherever it went. I lost it. Alright, so we're going to, in any case, we'll find one of these things. There's one. Okay, there it is. It's a number sign, which is what, as far as the basic manuscript form, that is a standard format to tell the reader that you are shifting to something else. It could be just breaking it up for pacing. It could be breaking it up because it's a new scene. It could be breaking it up because it then changes into somebody else's point of view. Doesn't make too much difference. And we will change this later because this is a boring thing. What I'm talking about is this right here, the following part. We'll do a backspace, and then there's kind of a little, another tweak is I will highlight that and I will make it uppercase. So what I end up doing, backspace this. What I have done, now you didn't see that, but I've gone and selected these symbols and I'm going to replace all of the little pound sign symbols with these, and then begin the next section with capitals. And how many or what the words are is entirely up to you. There is no rule. So here's one again, for example. So I'll do Control V because I've copied this. So one of the little DOS commands is Control V. It replaces the pound sign with no space with these, which I have just told to do. Okay, I'm going to backspace and put Aunt Joe flesh with left. Aunt Joe brought in the fish. Aunt Joe brought in the fish. Now to me that is a nice little bit, and I would just go up here and say uppercase. And by the way, this is all adjustable, so you either can do it from the the tools or the format place, but I adjust the menu here so you can customize the toolbar rather, and add these things and move them around where you want. I have uppercase for this reason. I just click uppercase, and then Aunt Joe brought in the fish. And those are, again, niceties, not required. There's no rule or regulation that says you have to do that. But to me, they are just nice little tweaks that are quite easy to do in this word processing program. So we'll talk about some more the next time around. Take it easy.